Good evening, everybody. Look at who we got. We got White Rock Homestead. That's Tara and Jason. And so you guys look like you're in a dungeon.
We're in our castle now. We're actually
that gives a new meaning to the basement.
We're still live from Grady's. So just had a phenomenal day here and making the best of it, and here we are.
Yeah, very cool. So you all went over there and helped them raise those trusses. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any sheathing on, or is it just the trusses?
We can't spill any beans that aren't ours to spill.
oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking about that. Understood. Moving on. Hey there, Heartland HQ and Marianne Bimler. Carrie Leonard, Melinda Dobson, and we got Thunderstick Homestead in Michigan Life. And
yeah, we did see. I did get the other phone to start working.
Yeah. Were you gonna put the chat on that?
Yeah, we're just trying to read. I don't know if I can read, type, and talk all at the same time, so we'll try.
Well, you just if there's something in there you want to answer, go ahead. And
I can't see the phone. My contacts are about spent for the day, so it's on him.
Well, we do have Michelle in. She made it, and I know
Hi, Michelle.
Michigan Life above the 45th parallel.
Hi, Clarissa.
Words are hard.
Glenda and Tish from No Judgment here with Tish Ross and Lazy Days Ahead. Karen Brust, hiking with Jackie Boy. And there's Michelle, like you said.
Yeah. And Maria, Big Dreams, Tiny Budget.
Nice.
So you guys are working. You've got it finished. A wooden countertop.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that a couple of years ago, and it still looks like brand new.
Yeah, I didn't want something that was builder grade. I really wanted something a little bit more unique. And the design I was going for, I talked it over with Jason. He agreed. We had the lumber, and so he built me some amazing countertops, and I love them. I definitely would do it again, and I'm so much better than builder grade. I'm happy.
I am doing it again. In fact, I'm going to do it in the bathroom I'm remodeling right now, or remodeling. It's more of a complete renovation. And the kitchen downstairs, because it worked out so well. We got a quote. I don't even remember what the number was for laminate countertops for upstairs, the kitchen upstairs. And we were like, no way are we paying that much. And we thought that would be the cheaper route to go. So I had taken the rafters out of the house and raised the roof ceiling about 18 inches. So we took those old rafters and we shaved them down to 2-inch by 2-inch, and we put them in and glued them all up. Amazing. And we left all the nail holes and everything.
Oh yeah, it just adds character.
We talked about doing it the butcher block style. That was kind of our original talk, but we had bought a while ago. I bought a whole trailer full of 1x12, and there's some 1x8s, just rough cut pine. And so I milled them down, or planed them down. Didn't mill them, but I planed them down from the 1-inch to, they were all a matching 7/8. That way it was, just a little bit more than 3/4, which is what your standard countertop thickness is.
Yeah.
But I'm being just pine and laying flat, so it's just one layer. I figured I'd keep it at the 7/8, and yeah, they came out amazing. There was a few. I kind of wish I would have done these as I was putting them together, but look at them now, and it brings it out, and we can't spill everything, but
we can spill our beans.
We got some more stuff because we did a little bit more than countertops, and holy wow.
Yeah.
You've done more since what we saw already the other day.
Yeah. And the design I'm kind of going for is kind of that old European kitchen meets primitive, basic kitchen. You know, so it's just coming together, and we were really pleased with what we just finished. Well, not even finished. We still have one more step left to do in it.
Yeah, it was a multi-step process, but we only have really one more step of that to do. So, super excited to.
Oh, I got to tell y'all. Yeah, we did the tile.
We did the tile. You were going to do that at the tail end of your video. You said you were going to do the tile, and you were excited.
Yep. Yeah, and what I really wanted was I wanted that brick, but I didn't want just like a normal brick backsplash. I actually wanted it up and around and over the window, you know, keeping with that more older European style. And but I didn't want the porousness of a brick to where I couldn't wash it and I couldn't clean it. And so I was able, after a long search, to find tile that really resembled brick. In fact, I think it's even in its name or something. And it's beautiful. It just makes it's beautiful. Yeah. Wait for that video because it's going to be phenomenal.
Speaking of tile, we've got a video. I've got a video coming out of the walk-in shower that is tiled. I mean, it's tiled now, but not in the video, not yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is exciting. I didn't do the tile. I wasn't going to learn how to do tile on this huge walk-in shower. I needed somebody to do it who knew what they were doing.
That's a big chore. We've done that too.
And it's very rare that I'll ever have somebody do a project. We had the roof done because, you know, I fell off the ladder and I didn't want to do it anymore. And then we had some foundation work done, brick work, and the shower. And that's the only thing. Everything else has been done by me and whoever was helping me at the time, my dad. And we had an employee about 12 years ago, did some major outside work where we replaced all the windows and doors and patio doors and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think it's important that for anybody that's building a house or wants to build a house, do what you can. It doesn't mean you have to do all of it. You can, and if you're capable, then go for it. But there's so many different ways you can achieve that house or the home without having to do it all yourself. So sub it out where needed.
Last thing I needed is a leaky shower.
Well, that was actually I had done some small tile jobs before, but not anything like super major and not anything I had to necessarily rely on. You know, just small things like maybe a little backsplash or something. And when we remodeled our house up north, she was still working pretty much full time. So it was my job as I was home all day to do quite a bit of the work. And yeah, we did a full on, like she helped get the design and everything, but then I did just about every bit of the tiling for our walk-in shower. But it was a 5 foot wide by 6 foot long shower and like
3/4 wall,
12 by 24 tiles. I was a bit overwhelmed.
Told my idea. That's what mine is. It's about 6 by 7 with a 3/4 wall, so that I wanted some airflow, even though the door is wide open.
Yeah, I was able to find one of those Curdy ready to tile bases on the marketplace for what I paid, $245.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Wasn't much. And then we just built the walls around it, and then of course did all your waterproof membrane, and it was a big chore, but oh, that shower. I do miss that shower.
We got Patty Price in here. Let's look at the chat real quick. Patty Price is in here. One Day at a Time Homestead, and Linda Peterson. Empty Homestead got in here. They've been in here for a little while though.
Hi guys, miss y'all.
Paul Honeyman and
Hey, Paul Honeyman.
Derek Fowler.
Hi, Derek.
And old man King Homestead, who is on after me at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. So after you're done with me and Tara and Jason, head over there and give him some love. And Shasta Valley Outdoorsman, I think.
I see Sean, Let's Trade Paint. I don't know if we said hi to him. He made it in. And Jan over at Simply Jan Homestead.
Hi, Jan.
Hey. Full-blown countries in here.
Nice. Hello, everyone.
Yes, Tish. I did have that app. In fact, Byron was the one who advised me to get that app. And I'll have to check and see what you're talking about. Chat in it because I didn't know it had chat. We'll talk about it later. Heather Landstrom's in here. So yeah, so you got that. Then you've been building a lot of stuff on that property. I'm sure you don't want to spill any beans about what you're doing with that foundation, but that is pretty cool that it has a foundation already on the property.
There's really no beans.
It is, yeah, and I think we've covered it. If not, then hey, you guys find out and we'll have to make sure to say something. But I want to say we've talked about it before, if anything, at least in our lives. The foundation, so it was there. And, you know, we're right behind one, right? And I watched intensively on, you know, the two channels that are obviously here right now with It's All Grady and Simple Life Reclaimed. And I watched their process of building, especially when we bought the property and seen the foundation was there, and was like, you know, I think we can do something with this. Well, then we started taking measurements and realized that we had a plan and an idea of what size home we wanted, and it was going to be small. And that foundation did not meet that answer. It was way too big. And then, of course, being able to come over here and see Denise and Marcel's, I started inspecting ours a little more. It's coming down. We'll been harvest, sitting. Yeah. It was never capped and it was never filled. They did put the wire in between layers, but then it sat for probably 15 years minimum. I would and it's all the chinkings coming out of it, or whatever you want to call mortar joints. All of that's coming out.
I can just walk up to the wall when I need more block for a flower bed or a garden bed. I literally just go shopping right there at the foundation. I walk over, I grab a brick, I give it a little shaky shake, and I take it away. That's how brittle it is. The blocks themselves are still good though. So we will harvest all of them.
We did entertain an idea of putting rebar down and then filling it like they've done, but I just don't trust and have the confidence that I want to build a home on top of something that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah.
So there is a part of it does have a concrete floor, and so I imagine something will get rebuilt on that area and that will be repurposed, but the block will come down. We'll use that on other projects throughout the homestead. But as a whole, that foundation is going to come down. I just don't trust its integrity.
It'd be a shame to build and put that time, effort, and love, money into building something on it and not have a good foundation. So right now, to me, it's just an eyesore. So I'll be happy when it comes down.
So
I guess you know what you need to do with it then. Sometimes, and you probably batted it around for a long time before you finally said, forget it.
Yeah, we did. We're not about waste, and we're not about...
Yeah, and we kind of, I mean, up until we really decided we were tearing the whole thing down, we were going to keep the area that, you know, we've been calling the basement, because it's the only section in the whole thing that is concrete floor. And we were going to turn it into our, like, storm shelter / root store, you know, storage, food storage. and just keep that. But when we tear everything else down, it's going to be sticking up out of the ground like an eyesore. I would spend a fortune in fill dirt to fill the hillside in to cover it. It's not worth. We're better off just building something else there and moving on.
The hogs. That'd be a great place for the hogs. Can we get hogs?
So you started out with a structure that was already there and turned it into your little tiny house. What was it originally?
So it started out, it was a 12 by 12 with a loft. And it looked like it might have been somebody's hunting shack once before, or
it looked like it had squatters in it.
So this is a story I've developed in my brain of what this building was there for. Was they built this little temporary shelter, albeit maybe a tiny house, but it literally had the one floor with a ladder going up to a loft that had a futon on it. And so I'm kind of guessing that maybe that's something that whoever built the foundation, they were maybe kind of staying in it, camping out in there while they were trying to build.
Yeah.
Or it was there before, because it looks like it's probably older than the foundation. Yeah. And so maybe that was on the property when someone had it as a hunting land, and then they stayed in it to build the block foundation, because it had multiple layers on it. So it had been built once, but then kind of rebuilt on top of that and so we're built around it again.
Yeah.
Keeping life to it.
We didn't get any
daylight through that in some places. It takes a while for that, what I call flake board. It's OSB, right?
Mm-hmm.
OSB. It takes a while for it to get deteriorated like that.
Yeah,
it was being completely exposed.
Yeah, and so they had painted it, and so the spots that the squirrels and other critters hadn't chewed holes through were actually still fairly solid. Some of it that if you go back and look at some of the earlier videos, like when we built the chicken coop, that chicken coop was built from wood that we ripped out of that original 12 by 12. And we repurposed it into building our big chicken coop.
Because I didn't want to spend money on building a chicken coop. So I sat there, we spent a whole day. He was doing cleanup, and I was pounding nails out of every single sheet of plywood or OSB or any usable lumber that I thought could be salvaged. I sat there and I pounded nails out, and I pounded and pounded. I had a whole coffee can full of nails. Somebody liked their nails. And I was able to salvage all the material for the build of the chicken coop. And we love how that turned out.
I've had my share of pulling and pounding nails, that's for sure. I tore my garage off my house this sometime in October, I think. And I plan on using a lot of that lumber to repair the barn that we have in the back. So, it all works out. With the price of lumber these days, man, you find a tree somewhere that you can use and mill it down. You better do it.
Yeah, well, you got to put your sawmill together in order to do that. I keep giving those digs to him quite often.
Well, we have 36 acres of grapes, and we've been pulling the old post out that are broken, and I'm thinking in my head, what projects do I want to do using these? Because it's a waste to just sit there and burn them up, because they have 50 years of patina, and they're a hard wood, so all they've done is like dry crack, and they have these really cool the way they dried up is kind of cool. So
I've seen a lot of those repurposed into mantles.
Yeah. You can make yard.
Got a lot of comments saying we need Gooder Nation shirts.
Gooder Nation. We are working on that. We were blessed with some gifts that are going to allow us to delve into that just a little bit. So we are going to be getting our merch set up. So not worried about that. Stay tuned. It'll be a thing. But yeah.
Irene Turner is in here. And Gillum Farms.
Yeah, I got Johnny at Gillum Farms.
Hi guys.
We've been busy. Christine made it home, right, Johnny?
Yeah. We haven't even been able to like check YouTube in the last day or two.
I mean, you and Johnny are the two couples have somebody I've recently started talking to, and I really enjoy that conversation. It was cool. This talked for 2 hours last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
what was it that you were canning tomato juice?
Oh.
Yeah. That's
was
when
I
you were doing
the
the
night?
tomato
Yeah,
juice.
I was doing tomato juice that night. I mean, any given night, it's either marinara, salsa, tomato juice, diced tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, pickles. You know, the whole gamut of it. But I enjoy it. I love it. And we eat a lot before I even get it canned. So I love cooking from the garden. It's whatever is ripe that day gets tossed in, and the flavor. And of course, I'm growing all the herbs too. And so just to go out there and chop off fresh basil and oregano, and there's just something about that flavor when you can just pick it right off the plant.
So I have to read this comment because she can't see it, but she needs to know it. Michelle says, "Night, guys. I was up late last night. Need like 3 days of beauty sleep. I wonder why that is."
Michelle and I might have been on the phone really late, and he rarely ever goes to bed before me. So we always go to bed together. And I knew when I walked in, I'm like, it must be late, because I was like, you awake? No movement. He was peace out. It's all good.
Are you guys night owls, or is that?
No.
Typically, no. I mean, there might be a couple nights a week that we're up kind of late, but we try to get up pretty early, especially right now, because it's horribly hot.
Yeah.
And 10, 11 o'clock, you're done, whether you want to be or not.
Yeah.
You've already sweat through 2 or 3 shirts. The sweat is just dripping off everything and anything, and you can't breathe. Like, you've got to go inside, cool off, and wait till the evening. And that typically, because you drained yourself so much, just leads into fairly early nights.
And I'm used to going to bed. Like, he started getting up with me, but I'm usually up. Working as a nurse for so many years, you get up at 3:30 in the morning because there's so much to do for your shift. You're going in early, so my rhythm is 3:30, 4 o'clock, and so
Really?
I don't set an alarm. I'm lucky to sleep till 5 on a good day. And so a lot of times I would just go ahead and do morning chores, and because I'm already up, and let him sleep. But he's been getting up with me, which is awesome.
Not at 3:30.
No. I give him till what?
When I go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started to where I'll set the alarm for like 5:30. Because there's no need to get up that early. It's like, even at 5:30, we get up. It gives us time to have coffee, kind of wake up. But it's not even light enough out to feed animals, water, stuff.
But sometime, I'll just go ahead and get up, and because there's still domestics, even though we're building a homestead and we're raising animals, there's still domestic chores that need done, laundry and cleaning or whatever. And sometimes I can get some laundry done out, because I still do all laundry outside. And so, I'll do laundry, whatever, throw one in before I go down to the garden or something. So, it's just kind of my private time in the morning. So he wakes up and I make him come out and work. Crack that whip, as he says. He's got everyone thinking I just beat him with a whip all the time.
What type of temperatures are you guys dealing with even at 5 o'clock in the morning? It's still hot even in the morning, isn't it?
It is still hot, and it's very muggy.
Still, like, right now, this time of year, like, it's probably, even at 5:30 in the morning, it's 80s. Already the high 70s, low 80s.
That's crazy.
But the hard part is you have to chew the air before you swallow it because the humidity's so thick.
Oh my God.
So
I walk out in the mornings. Of course, I got my glasses on, and I'll walk out of the camper to go outside, and instantly my glasses are all fogged over, and I can't see a thing because the air is so thick and rich with humidity. It's, whew. Yeah, I ain't saying nothing that y'all aren't experiencing elsewhere too. That's kind of been a common
I'm up
theme.
in New York. I'm dealing with 72 to 77 degrees right now.
That would be kind of nice about that.
yeah, we
See, people from down south can be visiting up north during this time of the year.
Trust me, we're not lost on that idea.
We did what got kind of a rude awakening. Last month we took our vacation and went back up to Michigan for 2 weeks, and went up there and we, stayed at a family's house for a couple of days, and then we went to our river campground with all our family out there. And yeah, that first night I went out and, I don't like sleeves because they get in the way, and it was cold. I had to get up the next morning and go to town and buy a jacket because I didn't have one. And even by a fire, it was still kind of cold. We're like, but mind you, this is only our first summer in Arkansas.
Yeah.
We've been living up, so we're not fully acclimatized to the heat and the humidity.
I love your word.
I was, but then I moved back to Michigan for like 5 years.
Yeah. Well, other than Tara, who burned herself up really good this week, or last week, was it? Last Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I was a lobster.
Yeah.
That was some pain. I tried to make sure today that I was in shaded areas as much as I possibly could. That was some painful stuff right there, and I did not feel good. The southern sun is definitely different because we're boating people. We've always had boats and been on the water, and I have no problem staying on the water all day, being out in the sun all day. Never faced me. I do it one time down here all day long, and oh gosh, it was no fun. I hurt.
I'm surprised though that you guys aren't like really dark from you and everybody else that lives down there. You still have a little bit of a light skin compared
Well, I
to.
think it's because we go inside during the hottest portions of the day.
Yeah,
You work in the morning and you work in the evening.
Then that was something we actually talked about when we were up in Michigan with everybody was, we took for granted, like we were more tan when we lived up there in the summer because you can actually stand in the sunlight. As to where down here, when the sun's up and it's hot, you're not in the sun, you're in the shade, or you do try to cover yourself up a little bit. So, we've got decent tans going, but it's, you can't be in the sun during the day. You got to kind of hide out and then wait.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side.
I always wear a light long sleeve shirt. It's still kind of dark for myself. I mean, I am a pretty white person, but I try to protect my neck. I usually have a wide brimmed hat when I'm working out in the grapes. It gets humid up here too, but I'm not going to complain because you guys are really dealing with it down there.
Yeah. So I wanted to answer a quick question from Thunderstruck Homestead or Thunderstick. Yeah. So he had asked where White Rock came from.
Good question. Great question.
And so it's the most simple, easy way that you can come up with. My last name is White.
My maiden name that I took back and always had is Rocky. So when we married, we became White Rock. I grew up being called Rock. Of course, I had the Rocky Balboa and, the whole Rocky Where's Bullwinkle and, and all the other things that you can imagine growing up with the last name of Rocky. But I loved it. And so it was just kind of one of those little things we took on. We named our first boat White Rock. We named our tour bus White Rock. We named our second boat White Rock. we just
That's
kind
a
of do.
really catchy name. I like the name. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
it just kind of signified us
It sounds
and
powerful.
and partnership as a couple.
And we got together,
late in life.
late in life. It's not like we didn't start out as, didn't even know each other, for most of our adult lives. So coming together, it helps us signify too that, we have two lives with kids, friends, family, all that stuff that we made into one. Oh, sorry. I thought maybe
What is
one.
it?
It's just a little frog, but
Oh.
I thought it was one of those rats that they got around here you can ride.
Oh, no.
What's the
Yeah,
deal with the
we
locust?
love it.
Wasn't it last year we were supposed to have locusts, and now even we have locusts?
Yeah,
They're noisy.
they're really bad. I mean, they've quieted down a touch, but I know when we talked about them earlier on SLR's live, like all of a sudden they ramped up really, really loud. So
yeah, that was loud.
Even in our videos, I've tried to like reduce that background noise digitally to try to get rid of them. And you can never really truly get rid of them. It's like they must be on a decibel level that's all their own. I don't know, but they're loud and they can be extremely annoying. But yeah,
I know that iMovie has that reduction in background noise.
mm-hmm. It works. It does. It just doesn't take them all away.
I bought Final Cut Pro and I haven't started using it yet. I really got to get on that.
Yeah, I use Adobe Rush, and it's a paid service. It's not much. It's like $10 a month, but I've been finding that it's been lagging. It'll crash. It holds up. It's really frustrating, and I found it's kind of a common thing, and a lot of people experience that. But the Pro version, the Adobe Premiere Pro. Oh, that's probably going to tell me. Sorry. People really do like that, and of course it takes care of all of the problems that you have with the Adobe Rush. So I'm considering the upgrade just for the simple fact that I've been getting really frustrated with the length of time it takes to edit because of the hanging up, because of the resetting, and I'd have to restart the program. So I don't know much about the program you speak of, so I have no guidance on that for sure.
Well, his program wouldn't help if he runs an iMac.
Oh, well, yeah. See, he knows more than I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just missed what he said.
I was telling her that what you're running wouldn't necessarily work for us because you run through an iMac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you pretty much have to have an iMac in order to use iMovie. But it doesn't crash. When I first started using it on my M1 iMac, it did give me some I had a real hard time downloading or uploading one of the videos. And I called service, their tech service, and they helped me out. And I've never had a problem since. Sometimes it'll lag. So, I just shut the computer down and let it go for a little while. And then it's right back up to working again.
Yeah, I need to figure something out for sure. Streamline it a little bit better.
Yeah. Editing. There's my wild home.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Wild home. Wearing a hat.
Living that island life.
So jelly. I am.
Yeah, that's a really cool channel. I watched every one of their videos. I watch all their lives.
Yeah.
So Karen Brest had asked how far are we from Marcel and Denise? About 50 feet.
Smart butt.
It's we're like an hour.
Oh, yeah. You're still that far away. I thought you were closer than that, but an hour is close compared to a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Well, and that was our thing, and as anybody watching SLR's live today, was we had a huge crowd here. Grady's pulled in the A team, had everybody here, so it made real quick, easy work. But that was kind of the thing, is all of them, you know, like everyone over by the 41.36, you know, SLR, CRC, everybody that's associated with them, they're all within, you know,
Sure.
half hour, 45 minutes of one another. So it does, you know, it helps, because today proved once again, you know, that community, you know, of not only just YouTube community, but actual friendship community of everybody coming together. And it's nice that we, you know, because they're all like 4 hours from us.
Yeah.
And so you really got to plan kind of almost an overnighter, if you want to do something, you know, kind of a large scale project, because you're going to spend most of your day driving. If you go there and come back, that's 8 hours of just driving.
Yeah.
And so it's nice having Denise and Marcel here, you know, close to us, so that if we need help, they're over there to help us. When they need help, we're over here to help them.
Yeah,
And
it's like almost like you've got your larger community of support, but then you have your smaller clusters within that larger community of support. And so it makes it really just awesome that you're able to bop over and help one another. It's until we started our YouTube channel, and well, no, like maybe a month or two or more into our YouTube channel, we didn't even know this kind of community existed. Because you know, you see it when you're watching the other videos and stuff, but you don't think about it as much until you get involved in it. And then that sense of community, you start just becoming so warm to the heart for something like that. And it brings back the way life should be, not just for YouTubers, but for your neighbors and for your local people that are close by. And, you know, I had that back in Ohio when I had my homestead there with all the Amish. I lived amongst all the Amish neighbors. And that community aspect is always so strong. And it kind of just resonates a little bit the same. Even though we're all doing YouTube stuff, that community feel is still there. And we're loving it. We're loving Arkansas, and we're loving the community.
I know I'm living vicariously through you guys, because I don't really have that set up here. I'm by myself. I mean, there's David Moffat is about 3 hours from me, but that's just I recently found that out. And then there's a couple of others, but they're pretty far away. I think Bar Run Forge and Maddie of Backwoods Mindset are the closest. Other than that, Maddie's about 2.5 hours. Bar Run Forge is about 5.
Yeah.
And I did go to their gathering, Bar Run Forge's gathering. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're loving the meetups.
yeah, we're actually going to see Johnny and Christine this weekend.
Yay. So, two awesome people. They're so awesome. So, we're
Rub
hoping
it
to run
in.
into
People, rub it in.
Yeah.
You get to see all I came into this community, and I ended up going all the way down to where you guys are to meet all of you. And this is how my connection to everybody is. I meet you. Most of you guys I've met from asking you to be on my live, and that's where it gets started. And that's how I have to do it, I guess.
Well, and we like the aspect of you know, branching out too. We've talked about it quite a bit, you know, and we even try when we have time to like watch YouTube anymore. But we'll get on and we'll even try to find like kind of channels outside of our genre, even, you know, like we're in the whole like homesteading, you know, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, but trying to branch out and, you know, even meeting up with people that are kind of outside of that, you know, easy, you know, 3-4 hour comfort loop, and seeing, you know, and there's lots of people we've met that are, you know, I think, you know, Dale and Lisa at 9 Acre Family Farms, they're like 4 hours. I know Johnny and Christine at Gillum Farms, they're like 3-4 hours, something like that. So, you know, but it does let us branch out. I think Robertson Valley Acres might be the furthest. Well, you probably are actually between you and Michigan Life.
And
Point
the
being,
last Frontier Homestead.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess Bill wins that award, doesn't he?
yeah, there's people everywhere, and getting to know this was really awesome.
Bill, his family is in Pittsburgh, or just north of Pittsburgh. So I'm going to actually get to see him when he comes. He's going to go to Pine Cone Fest. And then when he's done with that, he's going to come up to Pittsburgh, which is really only 3 hours from me, but there's a halfway point that we can meet at and probably spend the day together or whatever and have some fun. He'll be more up here, but
and we like the idea that people are so spread out because we like to travel, and obviously as we get more and more developed on the homestead, and we can get things a little more like automated, and we have every intention. That's why we bought the little camper that we have now, is we can load that on the back of the truck and go anywhere. And when we go to that anywhere, we hopefully are going to know somebody through YouTube in the community, and go help, hang out with them, help them, whatever it might be. So it makes it fun to kind of give you a point of what adventure do you want to go on and where do you want to go.
And if you want to take an adventure, with us buying the extra little camper and redoing it, because we have a bunch of videos on that, we have a ready-made hotel room. I'm not going to say like a whole-on house for a guest, but we would love for people to visit the ridge. Ken from Lone Star Adventures, or
Lone Cowboy
Adventures, he stepped in, and we love it, and we love to host. We love to have you there. I love to cook, and my love language is cooking for you, so you're definitely going to get a good meal. We love to host, and
I'll
so
make you guys one of my stops then.
Yeah, but we're hoping as the homestead evolves and we add different cabins and amenities for other people to visit, it'll become a place where people can be like, hey, all I got to do is get there. Everything else is covered, and just come visit and say hi and hang out.
Well, my experience with is because I'm trying to find channels that are in the makers communities as well, and they don't have like a I mean, they probably do. I just haven't found it yet. But makers that like what's somebody who makes a cornhole board or those types of videos, specifically small projects in a shop, which is something I would really love to do. And, I have started doing that already anyway. But they don't even do lives. So you can't connect with them like you can in the homesteading community.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's
channels I've met. I mean, they've built their whole channel without even having a community. Like a cabin in 50 acres. Community? What? He's got he's like at 84,000 subscribers, and he's never had community. He's only got 70 some videos too.
Wow.
I mean, that's an example
I think I've seen a couple of his videos before of doing something like that, and it's one of those, to each their own. But I know I've been seeing in some of the comments here that Thundersticks talking about like where he's at in North Carolina, he's so far away from everybody. But then they don't do a lot of lives over there, like in that area. I don't know. For whatever reason, it seems Arkansas is kind of the hot spot for our like-minded individuals. And we do enjoy, and we kind of feed off one another as to like doing the lives or what we're doing. And the more we talk to them, it's crazy because we're all kind of doing the same thing. We're maybe different stages of it, or we're doing it a slightly different way. But sometimes it is hard because there's a lot of channels that we didn't even know about. Like we literally like Simple Life Reclaimed was the only ones that we knew of before moving to Arkansas. Well, Country Road Cure when they moved. on the 41.3, but we couldn't find any until we were here. And then like we found even more going to 10 killer.
You found where they were stashing them all, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you also
we're excited.
got a lot of people in Texas. You got a lot of people in Oklahoma too. And
Oh yeah.
well,
I
obviously
say
we had
that
the meetup.
Yeah, that Mid-America cluster is just phenomenal. And
Yeah. I had a blast meeting everybody. Well, I knew a lot of people already from the shoot thing that we went to the year before. And then, you know, I've had so many there were a lot of people from that meetup that I've had on my live. So I knew them very well, actually, by the time I went to the meetup.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. It was awesome to be able to connect with all these people in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'd seen Johnny at Gillum Farms and mentioned it earlier too. But yeah, this weekend, that's how we're gonna get to see Johnny and Christine. We're gonna get to see Simply Jan from Simply Jan Homestead. There's gonna be a lot. Dale and Lisa.
Actually, Jan said that they are not gonna be able to make it, or did they change their mind?
I don't know. She better be there. But yeah, it's the Ozark Homesteading Expo in Marshfield, Missouri is this weekend. So, and that's not
YouTuber. It's
there's a lot of YouTube channels that are going to be there doing presentations, but there's also non-YouTube channels that are doing homesteading.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun and exciting to meet people that, you know, unless you go out and do these things, you won't have an opportunity to really meet some of these individuals.
Yeah.
So we're excited. I mean, it'll be our first expo, homesteading expo to go to. And
like Living Traditions, I think it's going to be there. Joe Salatin is going to be there. I'm not sure of all the other ones. But
yeah,
there's like demonstration lists and stuff that if you're interested in this topic, this is the time that presentation's going on. And so I'm really excited to go, but I'm also excited to see all of my friends. So yeah, definitely happy. We'll be heading out tomorrow. And
Paul Honeyman.
What?
Paul's awesome. Paul says Arkansas seems to be the new redneck community.
I was just going to cry about the fact that I can't go to all these meetups and stuff, but then poor Paul can't go to any of them. Someday where he's just gonna have to bite it and come and see us all. He was on my live once or twice. I've had him twice on my live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Context would let me read the comments because I haven't been able to read any.
This last year, meeting everybody, having these lives, it's been quite the experience, and it's so I get excited every week.
Oh, and it's still so new to us. I mean, we've been doing it for 9 months now, and that's it, just 9 months, and we would have never. I mean, 10 months ago, we were literally just YouTube viewers. I wouldn't even go as far as saying subscribers because we would watch different things, but we weren't necessarily subscribed to them.
Yeah.
And then when we decided to do the channel, one, it opened up so many more people that we didn't find before, just as regular viewers. And then we look back, like, one of our last videos, was it 1 or 2 videos ago? 2 videos ago, she did the whole 9 month, and just crazy. Not only how far we came on the homestead, but then we look back at how far we've come, within the YouTube community, and these lives are awesome because we meet so many people on our lives, that we would never. What other way than a platform like this would you be able to meet those kind of people and have conversations with them? It's just awesome.
It is. It's totally awesome.
Yeah, there are, I know people that have trouble having friends or meeting friends or whatever, and this is just, it's amazing. It's amazing how I've never in my life had more than 5 friends at a time. Now I have like a lot. I can't even count them all. There's so many.
Yeah. It's cool.
And I seen Johnny at Gillum Farms that put a comment on there about he has a camper too. We'd like to see him. We know he cleaned it out a little bit, but that's out on the hunting property. I want to see him tow it down the road.
Mm-hmm. You guys are welcome on the ridge anytime. Bring that camper.
I've been
Take
watching
it on a maiden voyage.
that camper. You keep picking at it and taking out more and more.
Yeah. But it's totally worth it.
Well, yeah. The experience is,
Mm-hmm.
you'll look back on it and you'll either laugh or whatever, you know.
So far, it's been pretty positive.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. I mean, it's already paid for itself in the couple trips we've taken with it, and it's, you know, that little one's going to be going with us this weekend. I mean, we almost brought it here, but then we have to leave tomorrow to go up to Missouri, so it was like,
we're an hour away.
We'll just drive it.
Yep, turn and burn.
Which one did you take? Which one did you take last Wednesday?
The little one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was the Nugget. That's the one that we had bought and then redid it right before our vacation up to Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely adequate. It's got everything you need. It's not oversized, and I think when we got the larger fifth wheel, we knew that we were going to be living in it in the winter times because we were still snowbirding. And so we knew that we were going to have something larger. And what we found was it kind of made us not camp anymore. Like we didn't do pudgy pies over the fire because I just cook a meal in the kitchen. It's a full-on kitchen. And so I really wanted to get back to our enjoyment of camping. And the little Nugget kind of forces you out. I still use the stove and I still cook and all that stuff, but it's more conducive, I think, to the camping lifestyle that we love versus living in a full camper. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Hmm?
Road Less Traveled is in here. I want to see if there's anybody that we missed. I don't know how to pronounce Pet.
It's a grasshopper.
Islam. He's a new subscriber.
We just want to thank everyone for logging into and being in here and chatting with us. And even though I can't read, someone's been fighting bifocals, so I need to really work on that.
They're mostly chatting with each other, to tell you the truth.
Okay, good.
That they kind of know in my life. I'm dyslexic, so I'm a little slow with the reading of the chats, and they just kind of adapted to that. That's why I've always had guests. Although, that was my original reason for having guests, is because I knew I couldn't sit here by myself and read all the chats and try to pull a entertaining live by myself in that fashion. So I had guests, and I figured, at least my guests get exposure, and it worked out for everybody.
Nice.
So that's why I chose to do that. And then I have the there's you guys are special guests tonight. If I have a co-host, that's when I have open mic. I'll have a co-host, which exposes them again because I've had them as a guest already, and then I'll have them co-host, and then I have an open mic with them. So eventually I'll be asking you to do a co-host. One of you at a time. I only take one person at a time.
Whoa.
Oh, I guess I got now.
You wouldn't do it, Paul?
He's my clickbait.
Clickbait.
It didn't work, so her excuse for that is out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because that week there was more men followers than women followers. Only that week. Or maybe more.
Let's see. I just want to. You got like
Yeah,
4
it looked like Jerry Butler Family Farms was
Yeah, I
heading
just
off.
If you have any questions, what is it, 5 minutes? So feel free to ask us anything if you have any questions. I mean,
anything.
yeah, we're typically open books.
So,
Pretty much.
let's specific something. My brain just went dead. I'm sorry.
Don't you?
She's good at that.
Sometimes after the live, I have these amazing conversations with people, and I go, why in the world did I not have that conversation with them in the live?
Well, it's one of those. Yeah, we did our first couple lives, which we were nervous. Like, hey, man, we got we're gonna have to get on and do a live. What do we talk about? Like, we did all these videos, but we don't. We have like videos getting ready to come out. We don't want to say too much about those, and plus you're scheduled for an hour of sitting there talking to the camera. But in this aspect, it's nice because like we can talk back and forth and hear one another. But when we're on the live, it's just chat. So you got to read through it. And so we had took notes. We were suggested, hey, take some notes, keep yourself on track.
Yeah.
And we'd be done with our notes in like 10 minutes. And we're like, now what? And
people suggested I do that, and I tried doing it. I don't even make plans when I'm doing construction work, or I don't draw anything. I just do it. And and when people look at my work, they was where is the blueprints? Because I do it to what looks like I did it from. It looks like I did it from specs, but I really didn't.
Yeah. Well, so you asked, and we did get a couple questions. So,
okay. Shoot.
Thundersticks said, "Love the hat. Thanks, appreciate it." Johnny at Gillum Farms wants to know, how hard was it coming back down from Michigan, getting reacclimated? It was.
Exposed enough tonight.
I think for me, we shoved so much into 2 weeks up there, and we knew moving south that the majority of our family, we were leaving up north. And so you spend those 2 weeks with what's familiar to you. You spend your 2 weeks with your friends and your family and your grandbabies. And I think for me, it was really coming back. I wanted to be home. I loved the homestead. I love being on there. No regrets. But there's that tinge of, I miss them, and so for me, I think it took me a little longer to get back kind of into the groove of things. He bounced back quick about a lot of things.
Well, it was just, we were gone. It was great to be up there, but I was away from, home of Michigan for so many years that I go home. I enjoy being there, but it's just a quick trip vacation. Let me get back to my home where I'm living, whether that was back in North Carolina, whether it was Georgia. And, it took a few days to get back into the swing of, video and everything and getting back to work. But it really wasn't that hard because we were ready to get back to work. We were kind of rejuvenated and wanted to finish the homestead.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, that's awesome. And I want to thank everybody that came into the chat and my moderators for protecting my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, Tara and Jason.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
It's 11 o'clock. So Old Man King Homestead is on next, Peter. And I want you to go over there and check out his channel and give him some love. And thank you, everybody. Next week,
Thank you, guys.
Wednesday,
Bye.
9 o'clock Central.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.